Just heard you do the interview with the local press, and you seem to take all of this in your stride, but almost a month without football, it's got to be frustrating.
Well, it is frustrating because that's what we want to do. We want to play, don't we? That's what we prepare. That's what we just want to play. And obviously, when it's taken away from you, it is frustrating, especially for various reasons. You know, you're talking snow, floodlight failure, a start-stops game, COVID, waterlogged stroke snow pitch at Newport yesterday. And I keep saying it because I listen to it a lot on Capital Dance driving down that M6. It is what it is. I don't know what the song's called, but there you go. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can do.
Communication is a huge part of how you manage the group, the staff, the players, everybody. Through that communication, are you sensing any change in attitude? Is there frustration amongst the boys, or are they just taking it in the stride?
Well, I look at it like this. Imagine being sort of AJ or some sort of boxer or Tyson Fury, and every time you're ready to come and do your walk down to that ring, it's being taken away from you. All it does to me is completely motivate me even more when I thought it's hardly possible to be more motivated. It just seems to do that to me. I think that then cascades into the players without a doubt. I read a lot of stuff, I look at other things, I look at other sports, but in terms of and currently people are saying, oh, you've got all these games in hand, you've got all these games, you'd rather have points. It is what it is. We've played 21 games, we've won more games than anybody else in our league to that point. And I think we're joint with a few teams currently on 12 wins. And I think what we've got to do is simply look at 25 games, whenever we're allowed to play them, and attack each one on an individual basis and see what happens. But if the players are like me, they're highly, highly motivated to get going. 100%, and I'm very excited to try and talk about something else other than COVID, other than cancelled games, and start talking about unbelievable things that go on the football pitch. What a great goal Amari scored, and fantastic pass Callum made, and Ethan Walker's got his his first football league goal, and things like that. So another clean sheet, whatever it might be. I want to talk about them things because that's what we're here to do. So hopefully this Saturday we'll be in a position to do it.
I've no doubt that every day, every week of your coaching career so far has thrown up something, but this adaptable approach that you've got now, this very much let's take it on the chin and get on with it, is that something that's developed over the past year because of the way things have been?
I could talk it up and say yeah, but that's 100% no. I remember starting out at Bury and having no funds for footballs and looking at how I can get proper quality footballs when I first started coaching at 29, 30 years of age, which is 17 years ago. Wow. And I was sourcing through the knight-percival rep last year's Scottish SPL balls because he was selling them off at 20 quid, and I could buy a bag of them for the Bury's youth system. Quality match balls instead of playing with, which I can say now because I stored like a Woolworths flyaway. So we had quality footballs and stuff like that. It's just being adaptable, something as simple as that. But if you use the same in big businesses, if you use that same sort of ways, intelligence, whatever you want to call it, you've got to try and find a way. And we've got to just try and find a way in our current circumstance. And it's just part and parcel of being Carlisle United's manager and putting us in a position of strength and then trying to make sure we can utilise it. That's what it is. It is what it is.
Everything else that's happened this month, something that the fans may not have picked up on because of the lack of games, is the difficulty you've had in actually training the group as a group. That has to be frustrating.
Yeah, because that's the second best thing you can do as a footballer. One, you want to play, and if you're not playing, you want to train. And if you can't train, you're pretty scuppered then, aren't you? Because that's your job. But we've been able to adapt and utilise smaller groups, go in the Neil Centre, the gym, I see George Tanner doing his rehab on his bench press. He's got a mask on, he's got gloves on, you know, he's spraying down the bar after he's used it. All the windows are open, only 5 players in the gym. There's all sorts going on that people won't see. And it just shows the commitment that the lads have to trying to make sure they can represent them and try and gain 3 points on our next opportunity. But it can be frustrating for different reasons. You can plan a week and it's nothing the same. But adapting that plan, whether it's a Saturday between 3 and 5 o'clock or on a daily, weekly basis, you've got to. You have to, because unless I work at a football club where you've got 8 grass pitches to choose from, they've got undersoil heating, we've got a swimming pool to I don't know, warm down in. You know, on a Sunday we can all come in and have breakfast and bring our families, let the kids play together. It's just you know, it's Carlisle United, and we've got to make sure we utilise everything we can and maximise everything we can, whether it's finance, facility, whatever it is. And we've done that very well up to now, and we've got to try and look to continue that towards the summer months.
One thing you've spoken again this morning to the local lads about is maximising the 25 opportunities we have left.
Yeah, I don't see games in hand. I don't see it, honestly, I don't. I just see 25 games. People keep talking about a league table. It was great to see us at the top, like, you know, and staying there for whatever it was, 20 odd days, and within that not playing a couple of times. But so what? It don't mean anything, it does it, until the last day of the season. And hopefully we'll have a season that can be completed. So there's no games in hand, it's simply everybody's got 46, and when we get a chance to play ours, we represent our traits whenever they are. And whoever we choose to represent us doing that at that point, represent the right way. And that's it.
Injuries, COVID, they are what they are heading into the weekend. Your mouth must be watering at the competitive edge that's in that dressing room.
Yeah, and it's boiled over in terms of what's happened this week, but I don't want to really share what's happened in terms of injuries. But that's what footballers want, to play football. And like I just said to you before, playing brilliant. If you can't play, we want to train. If you can't train, you've got a lot of frustration. But we're really looking forward to Saturday's game, and I'm really looking forward to what today might bring in terms of getting the lads out there, because we're going to utilise the first team pitch today, so that's great.
Just finally, Chris, Matt Taylor, he's got a good squad together. They always seem to be battling up at the top, despite the fact that players do move on. What do we expect on Saturday?
A very tough game, and he'll be disappointed with last night's result. Of course he will, and his players will. And they've shown, not just this season but the season before, that when things like that happen, they respond very positively. So I know that, he knows that. They also know how competitive we were when we played them last. He was very, I managed to get 5 minutes with him actually after the game. He was very respectful and courteous of the way we finished that game with 10 men and the questions we asked of his team. And he was very proud of his team's defending for not conceding at that point. So, there's a lot of respect between us, but ultimately it's a game of football. We represent us, and we want to try and obviously look after our point we've got before the game starts and try and turn it into 3.
Okay, thanks for your